I know you're gonna dig this.
Welcome to the award-winning show, The Funk Chronicles, and the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center. I'm your host, Skip, and thank you for joining us for this special edition. We're right here on location at the Taft Theater in Cincinnati, Ohio. And of course, we have with us none other, the one and only Sinbad.
Hey, good, man. It's good to see you. But hey,
Sinbad, thank you so much for joining us, taking the time out to come out and chat with us for a second. So, Sinbad, I want to just check with you on a couple of things. First of all, so how long have you been professionally now being a comedian?
It'd be, I think it's over 30, I started in 83. It's a little over 30 years, man.
30 years.
Yeah.
So, who were some of your influences in the comedy world?
I think when you come up 60s and 70s, I think you get influence equally music and comedy. Mm-hmm. So it was Cosby, it was Richard Pryor, it was later I saw Robin Williams, and it was Flip Wilson, it was Red Skelton. It was I think we're that last generation. It was equally white and black. Mm-hmm. You know, and when a brother made it, was so rare. Right. You know, so that's what gave you hope. And now the game has changed too much. People don't understand that. Mm-hmm. But also I was influenced mainly because I started playing music. Was musicians. I wanted to be an entertainer, mm-hmm. and I thought it was going to be music. I just know I wanted to be famous. Mm-hmm. So comedy, I'm like the guy in the band that was crazy. I'm the drummer who was out of his mind.
Right.
Yeah.
So at what point then, Sinbad, did you realize that you
funk fall down? Man, ain't right.
No, you know the funk can hold its own.
It can hold its own. It seeks its lowest level.
In the register down there.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
So Sinbad, at what point though did you take a look at your situation and say, you know what? Comedy is the direction I'm going in. What happened to steer you in that direction?
Air Force talent show.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the Air Force, and I was like, man, I said I want to do. I was still trying to play basketball at the time, so it was the Air Force basketball team. I tore my knees, I tore everything up, and I said, man, I can't have a regular job. I don't work regular jobs. So it was the guy said, "Yo, be a comedian." Remember. Show called Tops and Blue, and I auditioned, and that's how I got started.
That's it.
Although I came in last place in the comedy category, and I was the only one in it. I came in last place, but I won the MC category, so that's what's saying. Yeah.
The only one in it, and you came in last place.
I didn't get no point.
I never heard of that spot.
Yeah, to not win, you don't. It's like running track meet. You can't get to the end line,
right?
So you didn't qualify.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, something I've always wanted to know, because I don't know this. How did you get the name Sinbad?
That was in college. I was watching all the Sinbad movies and Sinbad TV shows. Sinbad, Voyage of the Golden Fleece, Sinbad's Last Voyage. I loved that stuff. And there was a friend of mine who was Persian in college, and he just started calling me Sinbad. Although the real way to spell it is Sindbad. He said, but nobody would spell that right. He said, if you spell it that way, they'll never get it right. And if you look it up, he really was an adventurer. He was a real guy who was a explorer. And what I liked about him, he was a rogue and a thief, but he also was a hero. And he never died. His men died.
But
he's not going in the cave first. His people died.
Okay. So for you, that's somewhat prophetic then, huh?
Yes. Let other folks go in the cave first, and I'll orchestrate the cave.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, Sinbad, let's move it up a little bit. I mean, everybody knows that you were a huge advocate, proponent of funk, because in the 90s you did the Sinbad Summer Jams, and I mean, they were huge. And the footage from them, events and shows are just classic today. I still get on YouTube and watch them when I just feel like getting my groove on.
It was cool.
One I want to put on is the Barcades, when they were doing it. Man, I'm telling you, Holy Ghost, I play it all the time, man.
And think about it, right at that time, I think everybody was in their 30s and 40s. Remember, so we think, well, that's prime.
Exactly.
Some guys are out of rehab, so they're in best shape they ever been in. So, we go through that ugly period of entertainment where we're like, man, I don't know where he's at right now. And then when I got him on my show, they were like, man, I'm drinking water now. I'm like, so I was blessed to get guys at the prime where they've been through the dumbness and now they were just playing music and having fun playing music. And it actually started, because of doing what I did, there started becoming more concerts. There was more funk concerts stateside, and it became, it was what I wanted to have. I wanted funk to come back alive again.
So, well, you just said that, but how did you actually get it going? Because them things were huge productions. So how did you actually get it going?
I look back now, if I'd known then what I know now, it never would have happened. I just wanted to do a cool jazz festival. Remember the riverfront? As a kid, I would drive to Milwaukee, I would drive to Cincinnati, I would drive to Detroit, and I would drive to Chicago. Remember everybody be outside in the streets in Cincinnati after the cool, I wanted that. And I was trying to find a city to do my funk festival. And I thought I would get a house band. Remember, a lot of the bands weren't together yet.
Right.
So I said, I get a house band, and I'll find the lead singers in some of these bands, and I'll do something special. But then the band started showing up. I was at the Strand in LA, and I saw a Gap band. They just got back together, and I said, wait a minute. These bands are kind of getting back together. So I said, I'm going to do a concert. I didn't know how I was going to do it. Now, at that time, I was one of the hottest comics at HBO, not the hottest comic at HBO. And I look back now, I told them, look, I can't do this funk festival. I'm not going to do another stand-up special. So I look at the gall I had and the pull I had, and they said, yes, they knew what I was talking about. They had no idea. So I had to give them a name when I started from the far. They go, oh, that's the only name they understood.
Right.
Because they transcended everything. So when we started, I said, wait a minute. Then all of a sudden I said, man, if we try to do this funk festival stateside, it's going to be shootings, some cats that shouldn't be there, young cats who don't understand what the funk is, going to mess it up. I said, I'm going to go someplace, you got to have a passport. If you don't have a passport, you can't come. And I went to all these islands, and everybody said no, and then St. Martin said yes.
That was it, huh?
Yeah.
And that's what started that thing.
That's how I went, man.
Sinbad, so what do you know about the triangle of funk?
This whole, we look at it, man. We talk about Dayton, we talk about Cincinnati, say Indianapolis has adopted, but then again, Cleveland too, because you got OJ, Cleveland still had funk. Toledo, I don't think any funk came out of Toledo. Columbus, I think somebody might have moved from Columbus to Cincinnati, but I don't think there was no funk band.
Right.
And I can't explain why. It makes no sense.
Right.
It makes no sense why this. And I'm from Michigan, so we know Motown was in Detroit, but something about that funk. I don't know if it because somebody was talking about King Records, and there were things that maybe that was a reason. Maybe because James Brown had this, so maybe that had something to do with it because hey man, James Brown's here, we can get on this label, whatever. But the Contours, all these people, even before that, I think Midwest, we had nothing else to do. We played music. I know Michigan, we played music, played sports, and played music. And you look, this was a perfect place for concerts. There was always music coming through here, so maybe this was just supposed to be that. Cincinnati had that. Dayton had that. Indianapolis had that.
So that's the triangle of funk.
That's it, man.
Yeah, right. So Sinbad, of course, you know, the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center has been a project that, David Webb and his staff of people have been moving forward. Do you feel that it's practical to have it in Dayton?
Well,
so why so?
Well, look, was it practical to put the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland? Well, what did Cleveland have to do with rock and roll? It wasn't the center of rock and roll from everywhere.
Exactly.
But somehow it made sense. That building on that waterfront there made sense. If we back in the day, if you said, look, man, we're gonna have a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, it's gonna be a big attraction. People say, yeah, out your money. So why not have funk in Dayton? Why not have it? At that time, Cleveland wasn't built up yet. Remember, Cleveland now redid the downtown and redid everything. I think for Dayton, it is cool to have it there. That's where's that? Motown. You can't move that building to another place. That's where it's at.
Right.
That's where
building
the music
Detroit
is. Where music happened there.
Right. That certainly makes a lot of sense. So, of course, with you being such a strong funk advocate yourself and so forth, who are some of your favorite groups in the funk genre?
I don't have any group that's not my funk. Remember, I don't think it's a funk group. I'm like, I don't think I like them.
Right.
That's the hardest thing about funk. Whoever you're listening to, you go, oh man. And you go like, wait, we were just talking about the Barcades. You go, oh wait a minute. Oh man.
Yeah.
Funk is like, oh man.
Right.
Cameo. See, Cameo, Lakeside and Cameo, I think people just don't understand how funky that is. I'm talking about every cut on the album, every track, slow jams, fast jams, Slave, bass, come on, Steve. Dude, it's just basic lines that when you hear it, it's just a thumb. That's what rap took. Rap heard these lines, and these are the lines that created the whole other industry.
Right. Exactly.
But Roger would have to be, Roger affected me because I was in the military. And they were Roger and Human Body, and they came through and performed at the rec center. And that's when I decided, you said how to become a comedian. That was the night I decided to go entertain. And then, who came out of Indianapolis? Midnight Star came through 2 weeks later. So both of them came to the military base. But it was Roger, he wasn't yet doing Zap. It was,
right.
I think Zap, my brother just got in the group, I think, because he said on stage, yeah, he just ran away from home. So we got him in the group. He was the youngest fella in the group. And there was he introduced Zap that night.
Right.
But dude, he was doing that stuff with the guitar. Remember, he was doing George Benson. He was doing Broadway, he was singing. He was going through the audience. And I said, oh, he's an entertainer. I didn't see him as just a singer guitar player.
Right.
He was an entertainer. And that's what young kids don't do, other than Bruno Mars.
Right.
Bruno Mars laid down. He was raised watching groups that did things. But I saw, and the thing is, I talked to him for an hour. I think I wore him out. They were trying to get on the tour bus to go to the next place. And Roger
you held him up, huh?
Roger talked, and his brother came and said, if I was like, man, we gotta go. I said, we gotta go, young man. Like I said, man, remember me. My name is Sinbad. All right, brother.
Right.
And then I saw him later, I had the Jerry Curl do a comedy.
Yeah.
Man, you taught me all night long. But Roger could have done stand-up.
Right.
Roger was just personable, funny. I could look, and now when they did the thing on VH1, you know, Unsung, which I think is a stupid title because it's not unsung.
Yeah.
They might not be the rest. I think we should call it the rest of the story, or things you didn't know.
Right.
But you realize he was just as gifted as Prince and the rest, sitting in that studio hand, just living there and doing music. People don't realize that mind he had. I was 4 or 5 years old, and he said he wanted a tie, wanted a guitar. I'm like, how do you know that?
Exactly.
That's a prodigy.
Exactly.
See, there's us who play, and then there's prodigies.
Right.
And both have a spot. Both can become great, but a prodigy is a whole different thing.
Exactly.
They can't run from who they are.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. Well, of course, Sinbad, you know, as you continue to, you know, your check around the country and the world, you know, doing what you do, you know, of course, keep this in mind. You know, we appreciate you spending some time with us and being a support for this event. Of course, you got to get to dating yourself there and check it out. But of course, the overall mission is to eventually have its own building that, you know, houses all of the paraphernalia that Dave and his staff has collected. And of course, now, Sinbad, if you've even got a couple of little items that you might be able to donate to the museum, we will accept them.
I got some funky stuff I wore at the Funk Festival. It looked just crazy and stuff to say at Hard Rock. I got some stuff I wore that was too tight and some chap pants. I got some stuff.
Okay, well, I'm sure David and the staff would love to have that, you know. And so, Sinbad, getting back to your particular career, you know, how long you plan on just doing this? Till you can, as long as you can, or you got a cutoff period?
Name me other than getting sick, name me a person that does music or stand-up or acts and quits.
Exactly.
I mean, we
They
got
just do it until they can't do it no
You just
more.
change how you, like B.B. King sat down.
Right.
But the guy's 80 years old.
He's still doing
it. Now, he bad. Bad. So I was like, they inspired me. As long as they can do what they do, I'm going to do what I do.
Okay. So another question I want to get back to your routine. Do you sit down and write stuff out and come up with ideas, or is it all spontaneous, or is it a mixture?
It's a mix, and some of the stuff that spontaneous becomes something I'll work on. But I might write something like this. Oh man, the time I went swimming. And that's all I write.
But that ain't nothing.
Because I have ADHD, but I remember. So man, swimming and seaweed. And that's all I need. Plus I can't write too long because I go crazy. So I just put down enough to get me going.
Okay, that's it, huh? All right, so we know that you had a project Memphis Red out for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Is there still anything going on with
You
that?
know what? This is what I've been doing. I had back surgery about 4 months ago. So I said, man, I'm really going to get, my goal is to really get good at, I mean, I want to become like, not just play. I want playing right now. I'm really getting caught up in this music thing. So, but with ADHD, the problem was every time I pick up one instrument, well, I want to play that too. So man, before I know it, I had like 8 instruments sitting in the house. So I'm doing drums, percussion, bass, trumpet, trombone. I got a saxophone, a guitar on the road with me, man, harmonica, and now I'm trying to learn how to play keys.
Right.
But I think it keeps me sane. So I'm getting ready to do something with my daughter. I said, I want to take some on the road. And sometimes I just meet people on the road. I'll get with bands that's on the road. I'll just have my stuff with me and say, jump on stage. We're doing in July 7th, there's a friend of mine in Buffalo, New York. We're gonna do a Prince night. You know, we're gonna, and they have the basic Prince list. I said, no man, y'all, I gotta show you some other stuff.
Right.
You know, you can't just do the basic Prince set.
Right.
Don't do no cover band stuff.
Right.
You gotta take it and make it so if he walked in, he go like, damn, that's what you gotta do with your music.
All right. So Sinbad, of course, you know, you've been around long enough, like all of us from old schoolers, to see funk when it, you know, it kind of really reached its zenith, and then of course mainstream kind of, you know, took it away. But no doubt you recognize too that funk music really deserves to be at the top when it comes to influences, the impact. Because, you know, the radio show that I do, I get a lot of music sent to me from all over the world. Just because of that purpose alone, I'm aware of how much influence funk music's had on people all over the world.
You go to Japan, you go to Europe, dude, all you can do see a funk band. All you can do say, I got a funk band. What? You have a funk band. Dude, have you seen the girl that does, the Japanese girl that does Roger?
Woody Funk.
I'm gonna see when we go to Japan.
Woody Funk. She's a big supporter of it. She's
Dude,
a CD.
she is like devoted.
Yes, she is.
She's bad.
I appreciate other people because they don't let our funk die.
Right.
This country will let our blues die, they let our funk die. They kill R&B. They just kick R&B to the curb. So, but no, it's funny, but you hear Uptown Funk that sample. We didn't sample when he sat down, when he put that together for Bruno, he said, this is a tribute to some of the best funk I ever loved.
Right.
And nobody paid attention to what he was saying. He said, this is a tribute.
Exactly.
He's a DJ that said, I'm taking the best of everything. Well, you should have paid him then. They might not come after you.
Do you think that was kind of a cross between the time, like sound like Morris Day and Time Petty did that?
Man, there was some gap in there. There was some time up there. I heard some Rick James up in there. Dude, it's about 7 things I heard up in there. So you know, it's even Sky.
Right.
So I heard Sky up in there too. But I look at it this way: just say, why can't y'all just sit down and say it? They won't say it. They just won't say, hey man, these bands, you young kids, listen to these bands.
Right.
Listen to these bands. This is what's from. Because I'll tell you, in the next, this is funny. The next 10 years, I said, there'll be a funk boy. We're getting older. Some getting sick. Prince just passed away. You know, we thought it was gonna happen a lot longer. That one threw me. I thought I got him for another 20. I said, we got Prince for another 20.
Right.
So that one really took, because he was active. And he was a voice. He was talking about it. He wasn't just playing. He was finding new groups. So now I'm going, where's the next mantle? And maybe the next mantle's got to be us. You know, and finding the next kids. You don't have to do funk like we did, but we took that groove. Okay, the girl Megan Trainor, all about that bass, yeah, we know that. Yeah, I know. I know it's about the bass. That's Larry Graham. It is about the bass. It's always been about the bass.
Exactly. So then, Sinbad, as you know, time is moving forward for you. You got any other goals or any things that you want to shoot for that you're trying to achieve?
I want to direct. I want to produce. I want to do. You know, I just want to travel and see where I can make a difference in the world. But I tell you, man, but I got a lot of music goals because I didn't accomplish those things. So all of a sudden, this old age, man, I said, I just you know what? When it is done, what I would do, I would find a little club. And I'd have a band, I'd sit and I would play blues and funk. And that's what people, I got a lot more, I got scripts I've been writing, I got more movies, I think one more run. I got one more run of stuff I want to do.
Okay, well listen, we want to wish you nothing but success in all these runs you're getting ready to take off with, all right? Thank you for joining us here at the award-winning TV show, The Funk Chronicles. And of course, we want you to turn around and take a quick snap with that thing.
All right.
Okay? Yeah.
I'm sitting on it. Here we go.
Yeah. Everybody, Sinbad here in the house.
I sat on to get it extra funky. So it's nice and funky now, right
That's
there.
right.
Lower it just a little.
Oh, just a bit, right there. Now you know, if we ain't careful, in 20 years, there's gonna be 2 white dudes sitting here. Funk used to have a lot of black influence. We laughing right now.
I know.
But I said that about rap in the late 80s, and nobody paid attention.
Right.
Then Macklemore and all, everybody's talking, I'll tell you, this is it. Nothing wrong with imitation. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery, as long as the people you imitate get something out of it.
Exactly.
But if the people you imitate get nothing from it, then really all it was stealing.
Well, you cheat.
Yeah, it's cheating and stealing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
agree with you. Yeah. All right, well, Sinbad, we know you got another project you got to get to, so I know you're going to go out there and tear the crowd up,
I'm going to bring elevator music back.
Well, just put a little...
Yeah, so I'm going to put bass on the elevator music so you sit in the elevator like this. Yeah, man, I don't mind riding. Just put a little more bass in the elevator.
Sinbad, you never know, you might start something.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man, people might start going to the elevator for no reason. What you doing? I'm going to ride the elevator.
All right. Everybody, once again, Sinbad, thank you again for joining us, man. We
My
sincerely
pleasure.
appreciate
All right.
nothing but the best in all of your endeavors. So, once again, the award-winning TV show, Funk Chronicles, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Tallest brother in the phone. When's the last time you went up down the court to play ball? Last time?
The last time, seriously,
Tried to
probably
play.
was about 12 years ago. And I twisted my ankle and got
I
a
was
blood
gonna ask
clot
you,
out
I was
of
gonna ask you for-
it. And it laid me up for 9 days.
See,
And
man.
I said, that's it. I'm not.
Once you get over 40, you understand. If you ever been playing, the guys who play over 40, but if you don't play all the time, once you're over 40, like Mark does that. Mark doesn't play for 2 or 3 years, my brother, because you'll go hard, you'll be all right. You feel it,
Right.
and then the next day you be like this, what I just do to myself? Because basketball takes stuff, you understand, when you play ball, it takes stuff out of you.
It does.
You know about football is what it is. You get hit with, basketball's it's like soccer, you can't go back, you ain't ran for it, you can't just get out there and run and play soccer.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a continued motion, man.
But see, my problem is I let these young kids talk me into it. Oh man, can you still slam? And so I let some kids talk me into it, and I played, twisted my ankle, legs swole up this big. I said,
What?
nobody's talking to me.
Last time I got hurt,
I'm not letting nobody talk me into playing
I
basketball.
got hurt doing that. Last time I played ball was somebody talking trash to me. And the hardest part is this. I told my brother, I can't let somebody beat me that wouldn't have beat me in my prime. You see somebody that you would have killed in your prime?
Right.
I said, why am I here struggling with this dude?
Exactly.
Talking trash to me, who I would have killed in his prime.
Yeah.
My prime would have hurt him. I would have hurt him.
Okay.
We own now.
Then I played the old man game. I was beating him up. I was elbowing him. I said, now I see why old man did that to me. I was elbowing this brother down low. I was killing him. I was killing this young dude, man.